On my travels across haunted Ohio, Sean Adams and his friend Bill Pardue took me to an ancient cemetery called Tinker's Creek. The cemetery, it is claimed, was built over the site of an even earlier Native American Indian burial ground and served British settlers from the early 1800s until the turn of the last century, and today the site is now the responsibility of the Parks Department, but has suffered badly from vandalism and allegedly black magic worship. Today very little evidence of these early burials remain, and the future is uncertain for the remaining grave sites. Here Sean takes up the haunted history of Tinker's Creek, which is believed by many to be cursed.
We're going to be going to the cemetery, which a lot of people have reported haunted, and I for myself, this is where I've been going to for the past 8 years, and I've had my own personal experiences. I caught an EVP up there, and I have caught some orbs on my camera, and a friend of mine got touched and poked by some entity up there underneath this tree, which I'm going to show you underneath where the tombstones are all broken and shattered at. So we'll go check it out.
Just before arriving on site, Sean stopped by a group of trees to tell of a ghostly legend there.
First stop we're at, these large trees we see here. At one time, you know, when the family settlers lived up here, there's supposed to be a slave that got hung up here, and legend is that before sunset, when you can see the horizon, you see a shadowy figure, you know, on a noose, just slowly swaying there, and sometimes people have reported of hearing some screaming coming up there too.
It was evident that this ancient cemetery had suffered badly in recent years from vandalism, and Sean and Bill took me over to a recently damaged headstone to explain what had happened.
About 4 months ago, I've noticed that this got tipped over, and you don't know how pissed off I was, because I knew this cemetery and I've always visited this spot.
It's been snapped at the base.
Yeah. Some asshole.
I saw the kid who did it, because me and my friend were here. My friend and his friend were here earlier in the morning. We all came back later in the afternoon, and this was standing. We went for a walk through the woods. When we came out the trail that's back here in the far left corner, past a group of kids, and when we got here, this was knocked over, freshly snapped.
Yeah, and those kind of kids.
And that is an antique stone. Look, 1811.
1811, 21 years old.
And 8 months.
Jeff Moses.
When I first came here, there was a lot more graves all along this edge and all in this back corner over here.
How many years ago was that?
15.
I decided at this point to try and attempt a verbal communication with those interred here, in the hope of getting some EVP, which I acknowledged to myself might be difficult due to the background noise on site. Here is what I was able to capture. The first clip was certainly indistinct and appeared to have a multitude of voices, and that possibly of a child. I just wondered if you want to say anything. Although I'm in English and Scottish, I'm looking at a grave of Campbell. You could be Scottish, but we all come from the same country. I just wondered if there's anything that anyone here would want to say. I mean, I don't know whether you've actually recorded anything from you, but if you would like to say something. Calvin Gillette or Lena Gillette. This is much more recent, isn't it?
1919 is the latest date that the last person was buried here.
We mean you no disrespect. If any spirits of this site wish to say anything, could you say something now, please? If there are any spirits of this site who wish to speak, we mean you no offence, we come in peace, and we are saddened at the desecration of your beautiful grave sites. Unfortunately, due to the ambient sound of the cicada insect, further EVP was virtually impossible, which was possibly due to the close proximity of the verge trees and the long grass where I suspected the bulk of the insects to be. Sean, however, took me over to a small tree that allegedly attracts some psychic phenomena.
This is the tree I told you about that we're approaching right here. When I was with a group of my buddies, they got pushed and they got touched right here by something that...
Well, there's a number of graves around here.
And there are some tattered gravestones, and I don't think whatever touched a buddy of mine.
Finally, Sean showed me a grave recently damaged by Satanists. This saddened me deeply as again another piece of early American history was being damaged beyond repair.
Because there was... Look at, you can still see the wax from that time, right here. You can take your nail and feel that.
Oh yeah,
that's wax.
Yeah.
Boy, last and this
I've been using that to hold
this is new right here. Somebody's chiseled this off.
Yeah, you know why? And there's also a black magic mark there, I think.
It's on an X. It's like they scratched an X, but there was white and red candle wax.
In memory of Anne, wife of Joseph Myton, who died March 21st, 1817, aged 28. They all died young.
As it was now turning dusk, and with a heavy heart and a fear and foreboding for the future of this site, we left for home.